Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gainer Gossip. Pluto, as always, and with me is.
Hey guys, Jenny here.
And today we have one of my newest friends in tabletop. For I wouldn't say completely new now. It's been what, like 6 months since I joined TIO.
Something, I think maybe even a little
Wow.
longer.
It would have been whenever the Satine bullshit dropped. So I feel like that was in June.
Something like that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
for like half a year. But with me is Corey. They are an organizational support over at TIO and have been in various of their streams and streams with me as well. So, Corey, why don't you go ahead and give yourself a little bit of an intro and then we'll dive into the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was a good intro. But yeah, hi, I'm Cori. I use she, they pronouns. And yeah, I guess I'm, like you said, organizational support with the initiative order and all around nerd and also a grad student now, which is fun to say.
Yeah, that's always fun to say, but not fun in
Not to
practice.
do.
Right.
Yeah, I have my master's up there on the mantelpiece because of how horrible it was to earn that thing.
Yeah, I
So I
still
get
don't have
that.
my bachelor's in like the case that I got. It's just sitting in my desk drawer.
My bachelor's is in the same thing that my master's in, which was just the plat. I just took the master's out, put the bachelor's behind it, and then put the bachelor's back up.
Yeah.
I need to get actual plats for them at some point.
That's awesome. Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, I guess. But I have some questions here. We'll use them as like a base. Probably not fully follow this, but let's just start with a general softball question. What got you into like tabletop games in general? Like, when did you start playing them? Like, what was your first experience with it? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was my freshman year of college, so at this point, a little 4 or 5 years ago. Um, and one of my friends was like, "Hey, do you guys want to play D&D?" And I had heard of it, and so I went, "Yeah, sure." And we played what is it, The Lost Mines of Fandelver
Mm,
or whatever. And like any good D&D campaign, we never finished it. Um,
I mean,
but
modules in general are hard to finish.
I know.
I've
I've
never ran a
been
module, and I don't think I ever will because I can't. It's too precise.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I've been in a Cursive Stride game since 2020, and we're only
Jesus.
two-thirds of the way.
Wow, that's a long
That's
time.
insane. That's a long campaign. Like
Yeah.
I've been playing for just as long as you, I think, around like right before COVID, pretty much.
hmm
And I
Yeah.
don't think I've had nearly anything that long. The longest was like a West March campaign, and that's not really a campaign. That's more like
Right.
pop in and play when you can type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a group of my friends I've known since I was 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
So like we
Nice.
and we all went to the same school together from like first grade through 12th grade.
Mhm.
So we are still all really good friends. And so I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah, that
That
probably
is
makes it
super
definitely a lot
cool.
easier. And it's in person then, I'm assuming. Or at least it
No, it's online. We played
gotcha.
exactly one game together in person that I tried to run a game and it
Well, I guess to be fair, if you've been playing for 4 or 5 years, you've probably been playing mostly during COVID, so probably in
mhm,
person would have been hard anyway. So yeah, it made
yeah.
sense.
I love that you guys are still friends. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Very cool.
actually one of them is the one who introduced me to my girlfriends.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Um, and he is like one of my best friends. For all of the Star Wars sequels, we went and saw it together. So like we are very close.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love that.
Okay, so well, if you're getting into that, and then I know you play a ton of other systems now. Did that come along when you started getting more involved in the community and then join in the initiative order? Because when did you join the initiative order? I'm not sure. I know.
That's a great
Honestly, I don't even know how long the initiative order as a whole's been together. So,
I'm not entirely sure actually. So one second, I'm looking.
oh yeah, there's like a thing in
So
the server you can
it
look,
looks
right?
like Bree joined the initiative order back in, yeah, so this was in 2020. I know that Danny, Bree, and Nate, I believe, were all supposed to meet up. And then
Mm,
of course COVID happens. And Danny was like, "Hey, do you guys want in on the initiative order?" And I remember, I don't know how I found Bree on Instagram, but I followed Bree, and then they posted something of like, oh, do any like femmes, LGBT, people of color like want to join like an inclusive environment? And then like a few months later, forgot about it. I get a DM from Bree about it, and I joined. So I want to say that might have been in 2020
Okay.
as well. Let's hold on, I can actually check. Yeah, it was in 2020. So coming up on 3 years.
Damn, so literally like
Nice.
right after you started playing pretty much and then you found it. That's pretty lucky, honestly.
Yeah.
That's
I
really cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of lots of
completely fell into DIO after the whole Satine drama just because Ghost invited me after they left their server. Because Ghost, I know, was a producer over there.
mm,
And Ghost is like, here, pointing me towards a bunch of people that played that were not assholes. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And now I run like a massive amount of shit in the server. So,
yeah.
because I have no concept of free time.
Yes,
Neither
please
do
have free
I.
time. Oh, y'all, come on, free time, please.
No,
You're a
no, no.
grad student. You don't have constant free time
No,
either.
no, no. I promise you, I do have some free time, and when I have free time, I do play my video games like Fall Guys, Disney Dreamlight, watch some shows. So I
Mm,
do take some time for myself.
right. I want to play Dreamlight. Like I've
So
seen a
much
couple
fun.
things, and every time like I shouldn't buy a new game when I have so many to play,
Do you
but
have Xbox Game Pass?
I had it at one point and then I kept spending money and not actually playing stuff. So
Yeah,
like
cause
I
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
cancel
because
it.
it is on Game Pass. That's how
yeah, it
James
is
been
on
playing it.
Game Pass.
Oh.
Yeah, so like if you get the Game Pass, like, and you'll get every, because that's what I have it on. I have it on Xbox Game Pass. So like,
Mm.
say eventually goes off of it, you'll still have your progress saved. But it is so fun. You would love it, Corey. It's so much fun, especially if you're a
Don't,
big Disney fan.
don't tempt me to spend more money.
Spend it. It's so fun.
Oh
Yeah, I was
gosh.
so sad when Game Pass took Hades off. Hades is
Oh,
such a comfort game
Oh,
and it got removed. I was so sad. I was like, I don't want to spend $30 to buy it now.
that was
Especially
on
since
Xbox
the
Game
second
Pass?
one's supposed to come out this year. Yeah,
That was on
it was on
Xbox?
Game Pass for a while, I believe.
Oh,
yeah. I
Yeah.
think I had downloaded it whenever I bought my PC, and
Hmm.
I played like 2 minutes worth of it and then just stopped. Because it's another thing I'm horrible at. I'm horrible at like following through with playing games and like watching stuff.
Hmm.
Just
yeah.
bad.
I mean, I still haven't finished Dragon Age 3, so like, I keep trying and I can't
Mm,
do it. It's just too much analysis paralysis. There's just so many options, especially once you get past like the second or third area. That area that opens up after that, there's just so much to do. And I'm very much complete every side mission before advancing the plot so I
right.
don't miss anything. So,
Yeah. So like I'm not like that with like shows, but I'm like that with video games. For instance, like with Dreamlight, so it's weird. When I first play a game, I'm like hooked on it. I'm like, oh, I want to keep playing it, playing it, playing it. I have so much to do now on Dreamlight that I haven't done because I go through these phases where I'm like, nah, no, I don't feel like playing it right now, and then I don't like finish it, and then I'll like pick it
Right.
back up months later. Like it's really weird.
Yeah, I've done that with a couple games, except I forget how the mechanics work. And so
Yeah.
I can't remember what game I was playing, but I just completely forgot the story, the mechanics, and I had put in like 20 plus hours or so, and I just had to delete my progress because I was like, I do not remember anything.
Yeah, that happened with me with because I still haven't finished it with Devil May Cry. I think it was like the
Mm,
newer one. And I know what you mean because it's like once you don't play a game like that for a while, you kind of forget like how to play it.
yeah.
I agree.
I think problem for me is solo games that don't have a multiplayer aspect that are in depth are hard for me to get going with because then I get very distracted. Like if it's a
Mm,
solo game like Hades, yeah, I can easily just jump on and play it. There's no thinking to that. But if there's no multiplayer aspect to it, then it's hard for me to get through the story and focus unless I
Hmm.
get really hooked.
mm.
Like even as much as I love Mass Effect, now trying to replay the series now is so hard. There's so many. I know all the options you can do, and I still can't decide what to do. I
I
think
really
Not
want to.
the only game that's been able to tie me over is the Destiny games. And that's because it has both a story that's really good when it has story content available, but there's also that multiplayer grinding aspect that's very rote of like go and do this every week
Mhm.
type of thing. So
Yeah, isn't Gotham Knights like that? I want to play that
yeah,
game.
I've been playing
Me
that.
too.
It's pretty fun. It's very like it has a storyline, but it also has different ones you can do. So it's a little
Nice.
bit when I play solo, a little bit of an issue, but it's not as bad because it's not as wide of a game. I mean, even with the map being
That's
as open as it is, it's still just one city. So
hmm
there's still only like you can travel the city from one end to the other in like less than a few minutes. So
yeah.
Really? Wow.
I feel like open world games, like I love open world games on one hand because wow, look, I can explore this entire thing.
Yeah.
But it's so much. It is so much. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a
hmm
huge game. I put in probably 100 hours for just the main storyline
Oh
hmm
wow.
because you just had to like level grind, which was very
See, I
frustrating.
think that's why
Yeah.
I always got like so into Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect 2 because while they were somewhat open world, there's a strict order of how you do stuff. And then
Mhm.
you get to the third games on both of those games and it's just everything's open that you
Massive.
can fuck with. And it's just like,
Yeah.
well, what am I supposed to do? Just tell me that and they'll do that. Like I don't know where to go.
Yeah. Just so you know, Corey, Disney Dreamlight is like an open world game for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, because there's missions like you grind to level up your characters, but then there's like the whole, it's open. Like
Yeah,
lets you
Disney
like do
Dreamlight's
that.
very Stardew Valley though ish. It's
I
very
do love
crafted and
Stardew.
design heavy.
I never played that. Is it fun?
You would probably love it.
I love
You
it.
especially would love it.
Really?
Like that's your vibe of a game, yeah.
I love
Oh,
Stardew. I think for your first time, play it with somebody else because I tried playing it by myself and just fell off of it. But then I
really?
started playing it with my girlfriend and I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand how to like work this better." And I
Yeah.
also enjoy the fact like time only passes when you're actually playing the game because that was one of my
Oh,
big
nice.
complaints about like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I've
And
heard
I'm
that.
like, I can't be on my Switch every single day, you know?
Right. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Stardew is very nice, and I think you would like it.
Nice. I'll check it out. Is it for Xbox too? Or is
Yeah,
it?
it's for Xbox. It's for
I
Xbox and
think,
Switch. I mean, we have all three systems, babe, so you can
yeah,
download it for whatever we need to download it for.
yeah, because I know
Nice.
I think you can even get like Stardew Mobile.
Oh,
Hmm.
nice. That's
I
awesome.
think that there's a mobile option. I feel like I remember seeing that.
That would with how much you do on your TikTok on your phone, you would have no battery if you got it on your phone.
Probably not, no.
So
But
yeah,
I definitely would like to get it for Xbox or like Switch. That sounds like fun.
Mhm.
yeah.
I'll check it out.
Okay, so we mentioned other systems. We've
Mhm.
played some other systems together. We're creating a system together. Is there any other systems besides D&D that like immediately jump out to you as like your favorite systems to dive into, either as a player or as a GM?
Mm. I mean, similar vein as D&D, but I really do like Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm.
I think just like there's a lot of options of what you can do with it, and I really, really like that. Um, and also I really do enjoy Vampire, like Vampire the Masquerade, I think because I bought the core rule book and I flipped through and it looked really complicated. And then of course I played it with you two and the whole like crew,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a lot simpler than you think it is.
Yeah,
And I
the
Yeah.
think those two
actual
are my favorite.
mechanics don't come up a lot
Hmm
because it's so roleplay heavy. Even combat's not even really supposed to be very heavily in Vampire. It was in the one we did as much as it was because Gus made a literal broken combat character. So we had to give him time to shine because he literally went and
Yeah.
hunted by himself like a shit ton of werewolves. Like, god damn, I don't know how he survived that, but
So good.
so
Yeah.
good. But yeah, Vampire is really good for that aspect, which is why I really like it. Because
Yeah.
I love combat, but like I feel like D&D specifically, everything is built around that. Even like the stuff that's supposed to be outside of combat is still mostly combat based.
Right.
So it's hard to really, especially for one shots, to run an RP based one shot in D&D. I feel like a lot of the time, like you can
Yeah,
do it, but you have to be really low level and not give them a lot of their class and item stuff so that they focus on it.
right. And it's definitely something that I feel like you have to talk about with the players. Because like I know the like again, the friend group I was talking about, they like combat. I hate combat. Like I hate playing it, I hate running
Me
it.
too. Hmm.
It's just it gets to be a lot, especially as you start leveling up. And it's one of those things of, okay, like this is what you want, I'm fine with it, sort of thing. But it is one of those things that I just it's a lot to have to run.
That's why for D&D and even like Pathfinder probably too. Just Pathfinder is very similar. I run a one shot. It's very hard to do RP just because you're trying to fit in all that stuff. But like
Mm-hmm.
campaigns are so much easier to handle that because you can space out and just drop the combat when it's appropriate
Yeah.
and gives you more time to explore your characters and stuff. But yeah, I love Pathfinder. I really love the customization in that. Making my little ice switch for the one shot that I did was so satisfying. There were so many options, and
Yeah.
then we're playing. I'm starting that stream for Starfinder on Sunday, and that's like Pathfinder's little brother, and it has a shit ton of options in it. That's really fun. So I'm excited to see how everyone builds their characters in that because I'm gonna let them level pretty high throughout the campaign. So they should be at least like 15 by the end. So it'll definitely be interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, something that I like personally like because I like D&D, but I like Vampire a lot more because I don't like combat really either. So like when I play D&D, I was like, oh, I'm into it, but I enjoy the role playing aspect of it. So Vampire is my favorite that I've played so far because you get to role play so much, and like you said, you
Mm-hmm.
don't got to worry about the combat part of it, which is nice.
You gotta admit though, you are getting better at combat because when we did our home game with
What?
Lennon and them, and I
Oh,
threw that really hard combat encounter on you guys where I
yeah.
took your arm and almost killed the whole party, you were pretty level headed while the rest of them were freaking out. I mean, you to be
Yeah.
fair, you do have a fighter, so your character is not
Mm.
overly complicated like some of the other characters you've played, but you were on top of it with like tactical wise of where to target and stuff.
Well, I think like also like the reason for that is I don't know why, but like when I play D&D, I'm the type of person where something extreme, if for combat wise, something extreme has to be happening to
Hmm.
interest me when it comes to combat because I'm not really into combat. And he made like something really, really hard in the
I
combat
threw
that
a
it like,
Death Knight at him, and it hit him with its Death Ball right
yeah,
as they entered to the room. So it hit all four of them at once,
yeah.
and I
And
almost TPK. I almost instantly killed the rogue, and the rest of them were rough. And then she got stuck in a mass of limbs that pretty
Mm.
much she tried to make it. I think you did some type of save to try to escape, and since this was a dark campaign, and you rolled so low, I had it take your arm off.
yeah, that was intense.
Yeah, so now
That's a good
you
one.
still don't have your arm attached. Like we preserved it, but you don't have it
Oh,
on.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I was so mad about that too. You're always
We don't have a
traumatizing me.
healer in the party. We have a paladin. That's not really a full healer. We don't have like a full healer in this party.
That's
So
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, I like combat can be really, really good. And like in the Curse of Strahd game, part of it is I picked cool stuff for my character and it's actually mechanically really good. Like it's
mhm.
ridiculous. Um, but it's exciting because like the way that my character is built is like she is optimized for combat. And I feel like especially some classes just are not. Like I hate playing squishy characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't do it. My most OP character had an AC that could get up to with shield like 34, I believe. He was so broken. He was a or they were a storm sorcerer, tempest cleric with a couple fighter levels, and it was a West March, so we had full items by the time he was like, or they were at level 18.
Mm-hmm.
So at level 18, they had the Blood Fury tattoo for the healing on hits, where if you do extra necrotic damage, you heal the necrotic damage. So if I did get hit, I would just heal when I hit someone. I had an Amulet Devout for the extra channel divinity. And I had a couple other little items, but the main thing was my first turn, if I action surged, I could quicken Call Lightning at 8th level, use an action to use another bolt of Call Lightning, action surge, use a third bolt, and burn all 3 channel divinities, and that's instantly 240 damage if they don't save. First turn of combat. It's just a one thing I can do, because then I run no channel divinities left after that. But yeah, just instantly just pick the biggest area, either the biggest target or the biggest area that it's like you can hit at once, and just drop that. And even if they made all 3 saves, it's still 120 damage.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
That is so
by the
ridiculous.
time they got to level 13, the most damage I ever took in an encounter with them was like 20, because they were so hard to hit. You had to hit them with saves, because you were not hitting them with an actual attack. You had to make them make us miss a save somehow. So broken. So yeah, you can build into specific D&D. I feel like is definitely more specialized, because you can build into something, but you have to really build into a specific concept. I feel like Pathfinder has a little more openness with like being a little more diverse in your builds. But I feel like D&D, to be effective either in or out of combat, you kind of have to choose one or the other and then specialize heavy in it.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's why I'm leaning more towards like rule light systems, like PBTA system and stuff lately, just because there's none of that. Like, you're as broken as you RP. There's no really broken mechanics to it. It's just how you play, what you role play, and then a little bit of dice mechanics at the end.
Yeah. Like, that's what I really enjoy about Monster of the Week, for example, is it is so role play focused that even when combat comes along, it feels like you still have options to avoid combat.
Yeah, there's ways around it.
Nice.
And it really only gets deadly once you run out of your was it fate points or luck points, whatever there are.
I think fate points.
Yeah, whenever you run out of those, that's when you gotta worry. Because I did that one shot, and I gave them all one point, because it was a one shot. It was a horror one shot. I was like, okay, you guys get 1 point. Use it when you want, but once you use it, you're probably gonna die.
Oh,
Nice.
And I killed everyone in that except for one person by the end. So that was
I can
fun.
see you doing that.
I mean, it was for Halloween. I mean, I had to kill most of them in that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
Okay, let's see.
That definitely is fair.
Let's see, what else do I got on here? I guess what are you currently in? I think I know some of the stuff that you're running right now, but like, is there anything you're in right now that you're excited about, or anything coming up that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a Pathfinder campaign over on Mistress Winter's channel, which is really fun because, for one thing, like the group there is really great, but also Winter is just a really good GM, especially considering some of us have never or barely played Pathfinder, and it's really nice to have a GM who is like, okay, here's kind of what you're doing. And then let's see, I'm in Death in Space on the initiative order. I have something in the works that I'm not technically allowed to talk about, top secret, you know.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be ridiculous in all the best ways. And then I'm running a community game next month for, it's called Flabbergasted, so it's a comedic
Oh yeah, you were
role-playing
telling me
game.
about that. Yeah, I am specifically not running a community game because of how busy I am next month, so I can play in some at least.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Maybe I'll try to drag Jenny into that.
Yes.
It's a role play game. You would probably like it. It's no combat.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And like essentially it's set in the 20s, and so you can play like you know, a super like rich person, or you could play kind of like the wait staff, and like that's those sorts of characters.
That's cool.
In the book it talks about like watch Downton Abbey, watch like Faulty Towers for like
It's
the
it's very
vibes.
like Gatsby-esque, but
Is it
comedic.
like,
It's like Great Gatsby with comedy, pretty much, is the vibe.
is it like because I was actually talking about that earlier with somebody how I really like a lot of period shows. So is it kind of like the Bridgerton time too, like around that era?
No, it would be later, because it's
Okay.
it's like the 1920s
Yeah,
or so.
think roaring
That's cool,
20s. So
though.
like when it's all the freaking what are they, flappers and all that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
And
Oh,
it's like
that's
the middle
cool.
of prohibition, that sort
Yeah.
of thing. Um,
Nice. That sounds like fun.
yeah.
I feel like you would pay the haughty rich girl. I feel
No,
like that
I'm
would be your
playing a
vibe.
no, I'm playing a dude.
You're
I
oh yeah, I forgot. You like to you. It's funny because I'm only playing girl characters lately, and you only like to play dude characters
I just
anymore.
yeah, I just don't really have fun playing girl characters because I am a girl, so it's like for me it's just boring to play
Mm,
that. I like Bridge and I think it's fun to play like the sarcastic guy or like the goofy guy like it's so funny because on TV even I love girl characters, don't get me wrong, but like I'm more like inclined to like my favorite character is always the guy character.
right.
So it's just fun to play. Like, I don't know. I really like it. So if I did play, like if I because I'd probably have to audition to get in, I would assume. And if
No,
I
this is
got
a
in,
community game. You
No,
just sign
yeah,
up.
so it's just a community game and like anybody can
oh,
play.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the
That's cool.
offline games people just sign up to run,
Mhm.
and then you just sign up to play. So literally, as soon as it pops up,
Nice.
I'll just poke you so you can sign up before it fills
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I'd probably
Because if
play
Corey's running, everyone's gonna rush to sign
Yeah.
up. So you gotta get in there
Oh
early.
yeah,
Oh
definitely.
gosh. Yeah.
It's
And
true.
my plan for it is I'm going to do very minimal planning because I feel like the game invites
Oh,
shenanigans.
if I get in, when I
Oh,
play,
nice.
I don't get to play often, so it's full chaos in my
Yeah, which
characters.
is exactly what I want for this game. Like
Nice. That's awesome.
if you go off the rails completely,
I already told you
awesome.
I'm playing a slutty rich heiress, so
Oh, is that what you're playing?
yep. I'm gonna play
Nice.
the heir, the some girl who's the heir to her family's fortune is just really
That's
slutty and doesn't want
awesome.
to marry who her dad wants her to marry.
If
Oh
I do
god.
play, I want to play like a guy who's really rich, but he's really dumb. So I think that'd be fun to play.
He like tips
Oh
like
god.
$100 or
If you're
Yeah.
playing a
something.
really rich dumb person, I'm gonna have so much fun seducing you just so you to do stuff for me in the game.
Oh gosh,
Oh my god.
that'd be
Oh,
fun to play.
Or you get to
yeah.
run a game and watch me seduce my own wife. It'll be fun.
I mean, you're kind of doing that for me and Lexi, so it's a
Yeah,
trade-off.
Oh,
that
so
is
see,
fair.
there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corey and Lexi are literally in a romance in our home game. So
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
wouldn't be
Yeah,
the
I'll probably.
wouldn't be the
Oh, go
first
ahead.
time we've done that with our characters though in a game. We did that my first time playing D&D at all. We did that. We our characters together, and then she got bored of playing her character, so her new character ended up being my
Yeah,
character's old flame, so that they had an excuse to
yeah,
get with my character after their old character left.
That's so
yeah.
good though. Like that's really good.
Yeah, I was really bored playing that first character because, like, it's so funny because it was a bard. So it's like somebody who's in entertainment and stuff. But it was just boring for me because I felt like I was playing myself. So I was like, this is
See,
really
yeah, I think
boring.
that's
Like,
what
I
it
don't.
is. You always play your like a lot of yourself in your first character. Because even
Mhm.
my first character was a human grave cleric fighter, very much just an older version of at the time more of a straight me, so very hard laced, closeted Justin, not out Pluto.
Right.
But yeah,
Nice.
that character was very like it was very broken mechanically, even as my first character, but was not fun to role play at
Yeah.
all.
The only thing that's weird that like I do when I play game, I don't know, maybe it's not weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just new to this, so maybe maybe it's not weird at all. But I have to like picture an actor if I'm playing a guy that I'm playing as, so I can
Mm,
envision the guy, like the character. So like
Yeah,
I'd
you
probably pick
very
the
much
face of
lately have had to typecast your characters to play your
yeah,
characters. Because you
yeah,
played Thomas Dougherty from Gossip Girl in the
yeah. It's
D&D
like
campaign we did, and then you made Dick Grayson from Titans in our vampire game that you want to play because we didn't play that one out that much
I love
because your
him.
friends didn't like the vampire.
Yeah,
So
and then I was good. No, Corey, I was gonna play that same character in the vampire game instead of playing Cheryl.
mhm.
And Pluto told me, they were like, oh well, don't worry, we're gonna play this again with Lennon and them, my friends in person. and we never did. And I was like, I knew I should have played my Dick Grayson
We'll
character.
just
No.
make Cori or Lexi run vampire, and you can play Dick Grayson again.
Okay,
And
okay.
you
I
wanted
want
to do a Gotham City
yes, this is
esque
what I was gonna say. You're gonna get a kick
vampire.
out of this. I want to run a vampire game that is like heavily inspired by like Gotham, you know, the Batman comics, Nightwing comics, that sort of thing. So
Oh, that's
essentially you're playing
awesome.
as vampires, but you're also vigilantes.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh
So
my
you
gosh,
could
that is so
instead of
cool.
Nightwing, you could be Bloodwing.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be kind of dope,
Yeah,
actually. I don't know
That
who I would
would.
play. Gotham has
that would be
so
cool.
many characters. There's
They
so many
do.
characters.
Well, and like that's the nice thing is like you could absolutely build off of an original character, like a character from, you know, the comics and stuff, but you
Hmm.
could also just say, I want to see this kind of character in like the DC
Yeah,
vibe, which is
Hmm.
really
that's
fun.
so
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, there's what like
Yeah, that's
there's like a
awesome.
million Robins out there now. Fucking, there's like
Right.
7, I think, in total.
There's that many?
Yeah,
Jeez.
even in the new show, they're doing a Gotham Knight show that's supposed to come out soon.
Hmm.
And the
Oh.
Robin in that is one that you haven't actually seen on TV before, but it's Stephanie Brown Robin, which is the
Right.
chick Robin,
Oh,
which is kind of
nice.
cool. I don't know who the guy's supposed to be in that. Like,
That's
I don't know
cool
what
though.
character he's supposed to be. But I know
I'm
the
mad.
other girl is supposed to be Duella, which is this crazy ass character from the comics who thinks all the villains are her dads. So when she switches
What?
personality, she dresses like that villain. So
Oh,
if
that's
one day
cool.
she thinks Joker's her dad, she's in like Harley Quinn s type outfit,
Mm,
Oh, that's
and her
cool.
weapons always reflect who she currently is. It's such a crazy character.
Wow.
that would be kind of fun to play in a
Yeah.
game though, because like you could play like a specific character for a bit, but then like could change like if you wanted
Yeah,
to,
I
which
think
is
if I
kind of
ever did a
nice.
Gotham game, I would play
Yeah, that is
Duella and just
nice.
have like 8 costume changes next to me
Right.
on a frame.
Nice. No, I'm so mad though that Titans got canceled on HBO Max, and I
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know
love the
As
that.
show.
soon as it comes back for the second part of
Yeah.
season 4, it's wrapping up, and they said they already filmed like a finale for it because they knew it was going to end.
Maybe they'll move to
Dang.
another network or
No,
something.
that's the second time they canceled it because
Oh
it
yeah.
was on that DC thing that they had temporarily. That thing bombed, and then HBO Max bought a lot of their properties, and now the new
Oh
HBO Max
yeah.
person's just like gutting everything. It's ridiculous.
Especially I know like animated stuff. Like they cut a ton of animation on HBO Max.
Did
Yeah.
they cut
I
Harley
heard that too.
Quinn, or is it still good? I think Harley
No,
Quinn's still good, right?
I think it's still good.
Because I love
I love
Harley
that
Quinn. We
show.
just
It's really
started it.
good.
We just finished season 1 of it. So
Yeah.
good.
I
And
want to
then
I
hear
I
thoughts.
had high hopes for Velma, but it's not hitting well with anybody. It's kind of cringy.
I haven't seen it
I
yet.
liked it at
I thought you
first, and
liked
then
it.
I liked it at first, and then I got to the second episode, and it's just like, yeah,
Oh, should I not watch it?
it's a little cringy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, is it animated?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
It tried to make fun of a lot of like right stereotypes, but it did it in a way that's very just hard to watch. I feel
Oh.
like.
Oh, that yeah. I
Yeah.
probably won't watch it. I don't know. If you guys say it's cringy, I just trust your opinion. I probably won't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things that just like isn't worth your time, and it's also not worth like the hate watching either because it's not something
Yeah.
that I really think should get another season.
Yeah, I think it's the
Yeah.
first show in a while I've
That
seen
makes sense.
unanimously not liked by most people. There's like a
Yeah.
small percentage of people I know that watch it.
Yeah. I am happy. I just want to say this real quick. Well, I'm sad because my reboot of Gossip Girl got canceled too on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But at least they wrapped it up in season 2, like of what would happen, basically. And only one of my favorite characters, no spoilers to anybody watching. Well, when this is
Well, your
out.
favorite character got shafted.
Yes, or they had a horrible ending. I was so mad.
Oh.
I don't want to say like who it is because I don't want to like give it away.
Yeah,
But
it's totally not a
I'm really
character of
sad.
an actor you've played in a game at all at any point in time.
Don't give it away.
I didn't
What if
say
people
I
watching
didn't
haven't
say
seen it?
anything. They would have to have very specific knowledge of the show itself to know that they even get that
Yeah.
reference, and only if
I
they
mean,
remember what character we said you played like 20 minutes ago.
that's like nothing beats. Okay, here's my opinion about Gossip Girl. So nothing beats the OG Gossip Girl, obviously, but I like in this Gossip Girl, the new one, that there's a lot of like LGBTQIA like
Mhm.
representation. So I think that's super cool. And like, because basically everyone on the show, you know, is like either bi or lesbian or gay, etc. And like, I think that's awesome to have
As
that
it should
representation.
be.
Because that wasn't in the old Gossip Girl, and I think
Right.
they're trying to find a new network for it. So I just hope that someplace picks it up because I think it would be good to keep
Yeah,
it
I
on.
feel like a lot of networks are really shifting their shit lately. I don't even know why. Like even CW, like completely good at all their shows too. They're like completely starting
Yeah.
over. They're leaning into like a spooky vibe now, I think, from what they're putting out. But
Hmm.
because the
Really? Oh,
Arrowverse is dead now after the
Done.
Flash. Because even like the previews for season 9, it's like everyone's coming back from the other shows to the Flash to wrap up like the universe. I'm pretty sure this is like a full-on Justice League season,
Mhm.
which made sense because I guess Flash introduced the Justice League and then we never saw it used ever. So what made sense to wrap it up that way. But yeah, I feel like a
and
lot of
now,
networks lately are just like getting rid of a
yeah.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And now our hopes of the Stargirl cast being on Titans.
Man, I'm so mad they canceled
That's not gonna
Stargirl.
happen
That
because
was some
Titans is
bullshit. That show was
so
getting so good. Like it was never bad. It was getting its stride and then it got canceled.
Well, and that's the thing. I've talked with my parents about stuff, and they're like, I can't remember what show we were watching, but it was a show that was like a little bit older. And they're like, yeah, like this would die on TV right now because if it doesn't find its footing within like the first 2 episodes, it's gone.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
Yeah,
really a shame because it's like
most shows
it
take a
takes
season to
time.
gel. Like
exactly.
Stargirl's first season was good. But
Mhm.
then the second and third season were literally so fucking amazing. And then it's like
Yeah.
it's too late. They already made their mind up and then it's gone.
That's
Yeah.
the thing that sucks about like being an actor, because I thought about that too. I'm like, if I ever get the chance someday to be on a show, what if I get a chance and I get cast for a show and then it's a pilot episode and then it gets cut? It's like that's hard about those, you know, the actors work really hard and then
Yeah.
it's
And
hard.
it
Yeah.
just like they don't even give them like the full season. I mean, like you think about like Buffy when it came on, it was like a mid-season
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah.
nowadays like you wouldn't even get that.
You're gonna be so
Right.
disappointed. I still haven't seen Buffy.
It's so
It's it's
good.
it's on my list, Corey. It is, but I need to
It's one
watch
of my
it.
favorite shows. It's so good.
It is
I've
excellent.
read fan fiction that had Buffy in it,
I've
so
seen Angel too.
somewhat
Buffy and
Yeah.
counts.
Angel. Yeah.
Buffy and Angel are really
Isn't Angel was
good.
the spinoff to
Yeah.
Buffy, right?
So good.
Mhm. And the
Yeah.
fact that the spinoff is also like really good, I feel
Yeah.
like is surprising.
Yeah, that doesn't always
Oh
happen.
yeah. No, totally. Because it lasted a while too, right? Angel had like 3 seasons?
Yeah,
4?
I think it had even more than that
I think you are right. I think it had more than that. Yeah.
because it started in the fourth fourth season of Buffy, I think, and it went on a little after.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was like 5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah, it was a lot because I remember like okay, so Buffy and Angel both. It was like when I first met my really good friend Lennon, the one we played D&D with. Like I met her like 9 years ago. She had me because I never saw it. She had me binge Buffy and then binge Angel and then binge like oh sorry, and then I binged Dollhouse with somebody else. But
Mm,
yeah, like Buffy and Angel are both two of my favorite shows. So good.
yeah, my dad showed it to me actually. So we watched Buffy and Angel together when I was like 15. He still rewatches Buffy and Angel every single year.
Really? That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's so good. And like I think you would like it, babe, because I mean, well, you're not big into vampire stuff like I am though, but I love vampire stuff. So
It
I
depends.
I
Vampires is just one of those things that gets overdone after so long. There's so much vampire content. That's why
and
I can't watch like could never get into like Walking Dead or zombie content. Like even
I
Last
hate
of Us,
zombies.
I
as much
hate
as I heard
zombies.
it's
I will
good,
not
as much as
watch
I heard
it.
the games are good, I could never get into them just because I'm so
I can't do
zombied
it,
out.
dude.
There's
I
so
think the
much fucking zombie
thing
content.
to know about Buffy is it flips like the stereotype of like the damsel in distress on its head.
Oh yeah,
And
Yeah.
of
I
course
knew
nowadays when like
that
you
much. Yeah,
yeah, and of course like
Yeah.
nowadays when you watch things like of course, like TV has evolved since then. So like it's more, I guess, normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think like especially as Buffy goes on, it gets to be less about vampires. Like I actually read an article for a political science class where it was talking about Buffy in the context of international relations. Like there are
Nice.
just themes like that and like just growing up in general that I think if you watch it, you're like, oh,
Yeah, I agree.
Makes
I agree
sense.
with that because I feel like the later seasons are like that for sure. Like it stops being about like just her killing vampire, but it like has so much like important messages in it too.
yeah.
It's so good. I need to rewatch it. I would watch it with you, Ben. I love that show. So
Yeah, why it's a list. I mean, I outside of like if we're gonna watch it, we have to
we'll add it
watch
to
it
the list.
together because if I try to watch it solo, I won't end up watching it. Because half the time when I do watch stuff solo, I just end up rewatching Dimension 20 lately. I don't watch anything else.
Yeah, I just binge shows. Like I binged all of season 2 of Ginny and Georgia in one day. So
Mm.
like I binge shows, but it's weird. It's select shows. Like I can't like I've been trying to watch My Hero because I love that show, but I'm stuck on season 3 because I can't
Are
get
you
past the
are you on
tournament.
season 3? No, tournament season 2.
No, I'm past that. I am in season 3 now. I think. Or maybe I'm right before season 3, I believe. But I want to get to the villain era in season 5 because that's what I want to
That's a
see.
long way away from where you're at. That's like the whole.
I
That's like the
know.
last 4 episodes of season 5 is the villain
I
arc,
know. I know.
and then season
Yeah.
6 has just been owl fight and all fights every episode, fast paced. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, you have a long way to go.
Oh, I know.
But since we steered a little away from tabletop
Oh,
stuff,
yeah, we did.
no, it's good. It's not just about tabletop and it's about like nerdy stuff in general too. So with that, what other stuff do you like to do outside of tabletop? Just in general.
Yeah, I
Watch
mean,
Buffy.
yeah, watch
Watch
Buffy.
Buffy over. Next question.
That's it. That's all I do, 24/7. I mean, like video games, of course. I'm trying to get back into reading because like as a kid, it's funny, I'd get in trouble and my parents would take like my phone away. Whatever. Take my electronics away. Whatever, And then
Mhm.
they'd take away reading and I was like, "No, I'm sorry." And I just like it's hard to read now and I'm trying to get back into reading.
Yeah, I'm
So,
very start stop with reading lately. Like I always have a million fan fictions open on my phone because it's a coping mechanism for me. But I'm trying to get through Dresden Files still, and I blitzed through the first 8 books in like less than 2 weeks. Took a break on book 9, and I've still not gotten back to it over like a month later.
yeah.
Yeah. Can I just say that, like, he started the book club. Wait, was Corey in it too?
No,
A bunch of people were in it.
Corey wasn't in it.
Oh,
It
okay.
was
Like,
Dana and Anthony.
yeah, and me. And like he tells us like 2 days later, I'm on book 3. I'm like, I haven't even started the first book.
I just kept finishing the book and
Club.
sending in the next book. Be like, yeah, just catch up. I'm up here.
My God.
I still haven't started it. I'm like, this is not book club.
I don't think I'm meant for a book club because I can't read one chapter of a book and stop and discuss. I gotta keep going.
Yeah, it's funny because my friends and I were doing book club tomorrow, but not like, oh, we picked Lord. Not like we picked a book that all of us were gonna read, but
Mhm.
just read whatever you want and then we're
Nice.
just gonna discuss because like it's kind of hard if everybody has different reading pace and also different styles of what they like to read. So it's like, yeah, you read a like comic book, okay, cool, talk about it,
Yeah, it
just
makes sense.
just as a way to
Yeah.
be
That's
like,
cool.
Yeah,
ah,
I'm just such a fast reader, so it makes it hard to do stuff like that. Like I'm the type of reader that like literally skim a page and take
Yep.
it all in, and then if something's like really like weird that I read, I'm like, wait, hold on a second, and I stop and double check it.
you
Like,
gotta
oh,
like
that
flip it
happened.
back a little bit.
But yeah, I'll literally just be like scrolling on the Kindle as I'm reading so quick.
It's weird. I'll blitz through like if it's one of my favorite couples or something or my favorite show, I'll blitz through fan fiction really quick. Like I can
Mhm.
finish that super fast. But I also am having the trouble of like finishing like I bought a book and I still haven't read it. But like fan fiction, maybe it's because it's on the phone, so it's just easier to blitz through instead
It's
of a
like
hard
that
copy.
dopamine thing,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with your phone because I'm the same way where I can read like a 40 chapter fanfic, and then I have a book that is equal or maybe a little more, and it just takes me forever to get through, and I hate
Hmm.
it because like I want to be able to read the books, but
Yeah,
it's like it's not even just like my reading pace, it's just
the content. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll find like
I get that.
400,000 word fanfics of stuff that I like and blitz through it in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we just finished That's 90s show on
Mm.
So
Netflix,
good.
and I reopened a bunch of my old Eric and Jackie
Oh
fan
my god.
fictions.
I don't know how you ship that couple. They hate each
They
other.
want the same things. They would be perfect together, and I will die on that
No.
hill.
He's the only guy in the group that she didn't want.
He's the only guy in the group that has that family mindset. And Jackie's whole thing through
Oh
the
my god,
whole
he can go
show
on
is
for
I
hours
want
about
to
this.
be
He loves the
married
couple.
and be a wife. That's her whole little arc of the show.
Oh my god.
Like,
Anyway, but I already
okay.
opened up one of my old stories as like 90K words, and I started reading it like during the last hour or so at work, and I'm already on chapter 7, no, 18 of 45.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah, he
So
sent me like 3. It was like last year. I still haven't read them. I promise I will. Because I told him I don't see the appeal of that couple. Like,
read the
and I
stories and you'll see.
no, and I like couples that aren't like canon, like out of character couples. Like I ship, but it's just I don't see it. But I was like, I'll eventually read it. But then, like you were saying, how it's like certain things you don't want to read it. It's hard for me to get into that because I don't
Mhm.
ship that couple. So it's like naturally, it's hard for me
Yeah,
to get into it.
you're more liable to ship more canon compliant couples than I am.
I
Every show
do,
we've
I
watched
do.
lately, I'm like queer
Yeah.
casting the couples in the show. Like even on That's 90s show, I'm shipping Leia with the girl next door. I was like, you know what? Eric got with Donna next door. She gonna get with
No,
her friend
Jay.
next door. It's
Listen,
gonna be an arc. I'm telling you.
I'm fine with that, but I think that Nikki and that girl, I think Nikki and Gwen are gonna get together because I think they both like each other. But I ship Leia with Jay Kelso because
I
I
don't
like
see
them together.
Nikki with Gwen, but if we start getting into shipping talking,
Yeah,
it's
we're
gonna
gonna
run the
like
rest
talk
of
for
this.
hours.
Oh god. Yeah, like there's also something just about because like I have been on Tumblr
Oh
for
God,
a while.
Gotta love
Um
Tumblr.
yeah, Tumblr's
God,
a thing.
it's an interesting time. Let's go with that. But like growing up, like being on like archive of our own and like being on Tumblr, I feel like shipping is just like a huge part of like
Hmm.
the culture.
It really
And
is. See, I just got into
Yeah,
using Archive of Our Own. I just learned how to navigate it within the last few months. So I was like,
I still
I'm
have
a
to.
fanfiction.net person, so I've been mostly on
mm,
there. But I've run out of a lot of stories in the categories that I read. So I'm like, okay, I need to
right.
try AO3. I finally learned how to filter shit down to get specific stuff.
Yeah.
Archive Our Own has a lot more, I
Archive
think.
of Our Own is a lot more romance and sexual based stories, even like in the
That's probably why I
action stories. Like, holy
read
shit,
it.
some of the My Hero stories I've read, god damn, Deku is getting it right now.
My
Like,
God.
holy shit.
Yeah, I've written a couple stories on Archive of Our Own. I don't get my tag out there because my Archive of Our Own, like when I write,
Wasn't
that's
it
something I don't want to
for
promote. I just do it for fun.
was it for
So
Right.
Bridgerton?
I don't. I did one for Bridgerton, did one for Anoya Holmes, but I don't give the tags. I'm like, that's my personal. That's like my venting space.
Yeah.
I wonder
Like,
what your tags on your stories would be. I'm very curious.
no, I just don't give my like username because it's like
Yeah.
Now,
personal.
I'm just curious what story tags you included because some of the story tags are wild on that site.
I
Oh, I don't know.
there is mm, yeah, I feel like people might need to moderate that a little bit better because sometimes the stuff like you're just scrolling through and you're like, yo, what?
Why is that an option?
Yeah,
Why is that a thing?
that's
Yeah,
happened before when I scrolled too. Yeah,
yeah.
that
But
has.
it's interesting. Fanfic in
Yeah,
general is very
Yeah, it's a very deep
interesting.
hole.
yeah. I can't write like that kind of fan fiction. Mine is usually like cutesy, maybe a little bit of teen rated, but I just can't go into like full detail like
Mm-mm.
that because it just feels weird to me. Like I just
You
don't
know,
do
you
that.
can't write lemons.
No, putting it that way, I can't. No,
Oh god.
I cannot. I cannot do that. My friend
There
Lennon can. I
there are
cannot.
some like
Lennon writes
good
her stories just because her stories are all self-insert or author, whatever they're called.
uh
They're
Yeah,
just so she can write what she wants to happen if she was in those animes. That's her.
she's a great
That's
writer
why
though.
I know, but that's what her story started as. It's a
I
way
mean,
for
there are
her to
some
do
like
that.
just really good fan fiction writers though. Like
Yeah.
even
Yes.
for stuff that like I don't care about, like it is just
Yeah, some of
very
them are just
good.
very well
Yeah,
written, for
definitely.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. No, I agree.
Well, and I
Okay.
mean,
What time is
there's
it?
also like a lot of people who have gone from publishing like fanfic to publishing like real things.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen a
Yeah.
few authors that I read that stopped either stopped stories or finished stories like, oh, I'm writing this now. Go check out my book. It da da da
Yeah.
da.
Yeah, and like the one girl, she wrote just a fan fiction about Harry Styles on Wattpad,
Yeah.
and it became the after movies. That's
Yeah, and
wild to
50,
me.
50 Shades was a Twilight fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
was
know
a
that.
yeah, it was supposed to be like a spin on Edward and Bella's relationship. And it
Oh, that makes
person who
sense.
wrote it obviously didn't know a ton about BDSM, but it blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that about that one. I knew about
Mhm.
after, but that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Okay, so we have time for only one more question.
Jeez, it's been
So
that long already.
yeah, I
Wow.
told you we asked a few questions and then we usually just babble. That's how these go.
That's the best
Um,
way.
so is there any other games like in the future, either on or off stream, that you want to run? And is there any like people in the community that you would want to run games for or with or play
Ooh.
alongside?
Yeah, I mean, like, again, there's so many things that I want to run. Like, I have an idea actually for a Stardew Valley like campaign, basically, because I ran like a
That's so you to run the super
right.
cozy ass campaign. I love that.
Well, yeah, and like I think it would be cute because like you can still go fight like little monsters and things, but it really is like leaning into that social aspect.
Hmm.
Um, the vampire game, like I was saying. Um, I mean, there's just so many that I want to run. I want to run a Death in Space Among Us one shot, but not
Oh,
tell any of the players that it's Among Us.
oh, that's
Yeah, I
awesome.
was so sad that his campaign for Death in Space was on Saturday. It's like I can get away with a Friday or Saturday one shot, but like in an
Mhm.
actual campaign, I cannot do multiple Fridays and Saturdays or Ginny would
Right.
kill me.
Yeah.
Well, then blame me.
I'm
Okay.
not blaming you, but that's our days to hang out. If I like,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna play this game for the next 6 Saturdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. But I can ask a question real quick. Corey, I just was
Mhm.
wondering. The game you were talking about, what is it called again? What's it called?
Stardew Valley.
Yeah, what is that about? I'm just curious because I don't know anything
It's
about it at
it
all. So
has like some NPC interactions. It
You can
has a
romance
lot of
them.
crafting. You can build like your own little farm area.
Hmm.
Um,
so you like have your character and you like customize your character
yeah, you
and then
customize your character, customize your area, unlock stuff, do a lot of crafting and
Yeah.
designing of stuff, and then you interact with a bunch of NPCs that you can romance and stuff too.
are
So
you Corey? No, I'm just kidding. I asked Corey the question.
I'm
No, but I mean,
sorry.
I'm
yeah,
kidding.
like that's the gist of it. Because yeah, it is just something where it's like, oh yes, you're essentially this person whose grandpa gave you his farm, and so
Oh,
it's like taking care of it, like romancing the people, fixing up like the town.
nice.
Yeah, like it's very nice, and I think it's very easy to just like step into
Yeah.
like whenever you want. Because
Is it
like
like The Sims kind of then a little bit in a sense of like romance, not romantic, but like how you build relationships with the avatars and stuff? Or do you play with real people online?
I mean, yeah, like it's you would like it's like computer like
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
NPCs basically. Yeah.
Oh,
Like you're
okay.
not
Okay.
playing like you can I think you can actually romance like if you're playing in multiplayer, you can
Mm.
like romance whoever you're playing with if you wanted to, which is
Nice.
kind of
That's
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds like
Now
fun.
I just
I
got the
definitely
image of Corey and
definitely want
Lexi
to check it
sitting
out.
in the living room romancing each other on a video game for
Oh my
hours.
god.
Don't look at me. Don't look at
No, I
me.
definitely want to check it out because it reminds me. It does sound like Disney Dreamlight in the sense
Mhm.
of like there's missions you have to do too, right? Like and
Mhm.
maintain.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Okay.
there's certain things that you have to do. There's like a community board where it'll post like little things where you can get like some extra money, which
Nice.
is
That's
kind
cool.
of nice.
That's really
That's
cool.
So,
cool. That's
yeah.
really cool. I'll check it out for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I think the other thing was like, is there anyone that you want to run for or play with or play alongside?
I mean, yeah, I know it's like such like a basic answer, but I would love to just like play more with like everybody.
Hmm.
Especially like TIO admin, because I know a bunch of them don't get the opportunity to like play in games. Just really any, I guess what I would want is I would want to like run for like the forever GMs. Like whoever that might
That's
be.
what I've been trying to do recently. I dragged April into a Mass Effect game that I ran
Mhm.
specifically so they could play. I ran Vason specifically so Bree could play Vason. So I've been
Yeah.
trying to get. I tried to run for GM. I told Danny I'm gonna get him in a game at some point, but
Yeah.
yeah, running for the Forever
Yes.
GMs is something I try to do because that's what I am lately, the Forever GMs. So I feel their pain of not playing. So I
Nice.
feel like the more games I've been running or playing, the more people I've been meeting to. Like it's been expanding, which is nice.
That's
Yeah.
cool. It's nice to have like because I like that about TikTok too, with like acting on there. Like I've met really cool friends on there, and it's nice to have like the community of people who have the same passions and like interests as you. That's super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
definitely a lot of cool people. And then I met Corey too, I guess. But
Yeah, Corey's cool.
it
Sometimes.
is Corey cool?
I think
Nah,
they're cool.
I just talked to Corey so I could talk to Lexi. That's like the main thing.
Wow. I don't
Hey,
know Lexi, so
that's what I said the other day. I was like, I think Pluto likes you better than me.
Yep, totally,
no,
totally. You
Pluto's
definitely
always
got
saying
me.
no. Pluto's always saying nice things about you around here. He's like, oh, Corey's the best. I can't wait to interview them. So I gave away his secrets.
I'm not
It's
supposed
okay.
to
It's
show
very
my
much the
soft
same over
side in
here.
public. That's not how this works.
oh
Call
well.
me out like that.
Whoops.
God.
Your tough exterior.
Yes, exactly. You're ruining my image.
Oh gosh. nice.
Okay.
You're funny.
Okay, but cool. I think that is all we have. We have a few more minutes to wrap up. So why don't you? I know we talked briefly about what you were had coming up or what you're in now, but go ahead and feel free to plug anything you're doing. Plug TIO if you want, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I do always have to plug the initiative order just because we always have streams going on. We have a lot of, projects kind of upcoming, casting calls, that sort of thing. And of course, we always have our community games. It's a great way to try new systems, even just running stuff because nobody's gonna like be mean to you if they're like, oh, it didn't go super well. They're gonna say, hey, like there's
Mm-hmm.
room for feedback and not like being mean about it. And just
Nice.
tons of other like channels in there. Let's see. Like I said, yep, I'm over on Mistress Winter's channel every Monday. Death in Space on the Initiative Order every other Saturday. Another something coming down the line at some point. I don't know when. I things are up in the air, but hopefully running more games as well on my end.
You gotta let me know when or if and when you do the Gotham game because I would love to play as
I
Dick Grayson.
will. Because I want to run it off stream. Like I just want to run it for,
Yeah.
like friends and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's totally
Since there will
fair.
be growing pains.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like running on stream and running off stream are such completely different animals. I feel like you have to run off stream occasionally too because it's so much low pressure.
Yeah.
You don't care if you
Yeah,
mess
it's just for
up.
fun.
You don't
Yeah.
have to be like super because you have to have at least somewhat of a more of a stricter plot for streams because you have to hit so many episodes. Don't be like me
Yeah.
and City and Mist and finish the plot in the last two episodes of this campaign.
Well, that's why I freaked out. Like, not freaked out, but the very first time I was on one of his streams on his Twitch, because like I'm completely new to this, so I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be on camera. I hope I do this well." Like, it is very intimidating for
Who knew
sure.
it just took killing your whole family to get you super invested into the game?
I'm done.
Works.
That was the other combat I think I ever saw you super invested was after when you ran
Thomas
into
was
your
so
brother.
sad.
ran into her brother and failed a wisdom save, so had to attack him, which kickstarted the fight an episode early. So they had all of him and his guard, but also the ones that were in the mansion protecting his girlfriend, that dude's daughter. So like it was double the enemies, and only her and Gus were inside the house. Everyone else was outside staking out. So there was like 10 enemies upstairs with them, including two bosses.
Yeah, if you would have killed Thomas's other dad, Colin, I would have went for you because that was his favorite father.
Ouch.
It was brutal.
It
Corey.
was brutal. I literally
Oh.
had her reconcile with her dad that she wasn't as close to literally 20 minutes before I killed him.
I mean,
Yeah.
as somebody who is a GM and as somebody who is consistently telling my GMs, yeah, make my character sad. I can respect it, but also as like a player, ow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Gus gives me very
exactly.
detailed backstories, but no longer includes NPCs in his backstory because he knows me so well. He's like, I don't want you
I don't
killing my
blame him.
friends. Okay, that's if you want, that's fine. I can find ways to traumatize you at some point.
Nice.
Okay, but yeah, with that, I think if I have anything to promote, Power Rangers, I am the Green Ranger on TIO, Frankie Oliver, aka Tommy's nephew, every second and fourth Monday. Starfinder starts this Sunday, the 29th. This will air after the first episode. So watch the second episode and go rewatch the first episode if you missed it. And then there's 2 open calls up now, one for TIO for Dresden Files that ends on the 4th, and one on OCS for Origin City Suits in the Dark, which is a Fate core superhero game that ends on the 15th. And then Monster Hearts every Thursday on TIO on Initiative Order. I'll be playing not Danielle Fenton because we're being legally distinct. I am playing Elle Fenton. So
Nice.
I think I'm gonna call her Danny Spector instead of Danny Phantom when I transform.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's all I have. And then, did you have anything you wanted to plug, babe?
Yeah, sure. So basically, just as usual, all my social media is just being Jin. On TikTok, I have some skits coming up with some of my good friends on there. As you guys know, I do like the dating parade, which is like a funny skit, and we're on like episode 10. A couple of my friends are going to be on that. Next week, I'm going to be on my friend Brixenta's channel, live, where it's kind of flipping the seat for me because this time I'm being interviewed by her, which is kind of cool. Having the podcast, getting to interview awesome talent like Cori and everyone, it's kind of cool to do the opposite and be the one being interviewed. So I'm going to be on her live next week as well. And I have a YouTube channel as well now. It's just being Jen, same as my TikTok. So yeah, just following my social media channels. And I think that's it at the
All right,
moment.
awesome. And the podcast is now up on all the platforms. We have it on Podbean at thegainergossip.podbean.com. We have it on YouTube, Spotify, and Amazon Music, all platforms. So keep an eye on the socials for
Awesome.
what's this will post on the 3rd, Corey, just so you know. So next Friday.
Yeah. Also
And then,
TikTok as well.
oh yeah, we also have a TikTok now as well for
Yeah,
clips.
I just created the TikTok, so we're gonna have, just so you guys kind of know too. We're gonna have about 5 clips for each episode. So right now we're clipping episode 1. So then we're gonna do episode 2, episode 3, and then this episode with Cori. We're just gonna keep going, but definitely follow the TikTok channel because there's gonna be the best parts of each episode of the podcast in those little clips. And same for the YouTube as well with the YouTube shorts. So yeah.
And then I believe our next guest is Isabel, correct?
Yes, and Isabel's going to be talking about a lot of different cinematography stuff, but also how important mental health is as well.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Okay, but with that, thanks for joining us, Tori. And
Thank you, Cori.
we will see you all
Thanks for
next
having me.
time on the Gainer Gossip. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.